Since 1995, the United Nations has, except for last year due to COVID, been bringing together its member countries for climate summits called COPs, which stands for Conference of the Parties. Over that period of time, climate change has gone from being something of little concern to governments to the global priority that it is today. Taking place in Glasgow, Scotland, this year's event was its 26th, hence its name COP26. It is recognised that this is the world's best last chance to get ever-increasing rising temperatures due to ever-increasing concentrations of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere resulting from human activity under control, and to limit it to 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels. Young people have travelled in large numbers to Glasgow to make their views heard and have demanded radical action rather than just words and empty promises. It is inspirational youth such as Swedish activist Greta Thunberg that have captured the imagination of people everywhere and of all ages on this issue. Each country has been asked to bring plans to COP26 setting how much they would reduce their emissions. These plans, if they are to have real impact, will lead to a fundamental change in our lives, but provide a more secure future that is built on the principles of sustainability. Our modern consumer society is based on the linear economy, which has allowed many ordinary people to enjoy things that were once only the preserve of a small, rich, privileged elite. But this business model, also known as take, make and waste, relies too often on sourcing cheap, natural resources, sometimes harvested and mined by a low-paid workforce, using fossil fuel-generated materials and high energy consumption, relying on long-distance transportation to get to market, having a short lifespan for the finished goods, and producing high volumes of harmful waste, be it in the manufacturing extraction process, in packaging, or in the discarded unusable product. Studies have shown that, as a result of this linear structure, 90% of the raw materials that are used to make consumer products globally are not recycled back into the economy. This is putting an enormous strain on the world's environmental and social fabric. Cheap food, cheap clothes, cheap anything comes at a very high price for the planet. This model lies at the root cause of climate chaos, and we are witnessing its growing destructive symptoms in the form of more and more pandemics, severe flooding, storm surges, heat waves, droughts, and ocean acidification. But the biggest victims of our consumer way of life is biodiversity. As the ice caps melt, the rainforests shrink, and the oceans warm, wildlife is being wiped off the face of the earth. 1 million out of 5 million known species on the planet are threatened with extinction. Global populations of fauna have declined by nearly 70% since 1970. Today, only 4% of the world's mammals are wild. The remainder comprise humans and domesticated or farmed animals. Sharks have been on the planet for over 450 million years. Elephants for over 55 million years. And rhinos over 14 million years. Now these creatures are powerless to prevent their extinction due to the actions of our modern industrialized civilization, which only came into existence just over 200 years ago. But there is hope that we are learning from our past mistakes in time to limit the rise in temperatures, to restore natural habitats, and to save so many species from extinction. At COP26, countries owning 85% of the world's forests agreed to end deforestation and to start to restore lost forests by 2030. The central tenet of the European Union's new economic, social and environmental strategy is the Green Deal, which aims to boost the efficient use of resources by moving to a clean, circular economy to tackle climate change, reverse biodiversity loss and cut pollution. Scientific research and innovative green technologies are a key element in this bio-friendly cultural shift in our approach to the rest of nature. Respecting biodiversity in all its forms is the key to our future, for it is nature that can help us solve our economic, social and environmental woes and implement a sustainable way of life. After all, we humans can learn so much from trees. Trees can teach us how to upcycle, recycle, achieve zero waste, introduce a circular economic model, utilize clean renewable energies, produce organic foodstuffs and life-giving oxygen, provide homes for a diverse range of wildlife, fertilize the soils, filter out toxic gases from the atmosphere, capture and store carbon, and reduce global greenhouse gases. For that is what trees do by their very nature. So you as a teenager can be active in the battle to save the planet by becoming, in this instance, teacher and helping young people to respect the natural world through the medium of computer coding. Using the Scratch programming language, we have written for your benefit a short, simple quiz for children based on some interesting facts of 4 different species of wildlife. For this session, using the Scratch project provided as a reference, we want you to design a similar project based on facts about at least 3 other species of flora and/or fauna that would excite children and increase their knowledge, as well as a greater awareness of the richness and splendor of those other forms of life that we share the planet with. However, if you wish to develop a quiz for an older audience or to code an alternative project type such as a game, then go for it. The choice is yours as long as the theme is biodiversity.